What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires, and finally the video I've been waiting to do, this breaking from deadline in the last half hour under the headline WGA, that's the Writers Guild and studio CEOs near deal finish line working on fine print, where they go on to report, quote, a deal in the latest negotiations between the WGA and the studio CEOs to end the nearly 5-month-long writer strike looks within sight. During the meeting today at the AMPTP Sherman Oaks office, the parties appear to have essentially untangled their stalemate over AI, writing room staffing levels, and the last remaining matters of the contention. With Netflix Ted Sarandos, Universal's Donna Langley, Disney's Bob Iger, and Warner Brothers Discovery's David Zaslav participating from afar, attorneys are now said to be deep in working on final language for the 3-year deal. The lack of in-room attendance from the CEO gang of 4 comes from the group had been present. The lack of in-room attendance from the CEO gang of 4 comes after the group had been present in person for the past 3 days straight trying to seal the deal. And if you remember just days ago here at the channel, we reported that after an 8-hour day, they stayed late into the night on Thursday before negotiations on Friday, which was of course a great sign. Now, as for this morning, and with deliberations starting at 10 a.m., led by the WGA negotiating committee and the AMPTP's Carol Lombardi on the other side of the table, today was always going to be about final details, sources say. To that end, lawyers took center stage for most to translate their employers' deals into formal language. The intention was always to wrap this up by the weekend, the insider tells us. That was the desire on both sides of the table. It looks like a tentative agreement could be finalized before the end of the day if the writers' lawyers sign off on what the studio counterpart lawyers hand over. Now, once the language of the WGA deal is done, quote, the contract is ratified by membership, and the next step is for the studio CEOs to start making a deal with SAG-AFTRA, which will definitely have its own set of challenges as reported. SAG-AFTRA National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator Duncan Cabtree Ireland and other leaders in the Actors Union have been keeping closely appraised of their fellow guild of the machinations and the back and forth between the WGA and the AMPTP over the last 96 hours. We're told, of course, they've been keeping up with this because, as it said, the studios will use pattern bargaining, or rather what they were able to negotiate for the directors and for the Writers Guild to also negotiate with the actors. They go on to report that, quote, despite gripes in the room over press leaks and last-minute asks by the WGA on Thursday night, several sources informed us that the talks have not been contentious and have just kept moving. One person with knowledge of the situation equated Thursday to an ant rolling a boulder uphill. We have yet to hear the exact terms as to when the writers can put the pens to the scripts for the studios, and the producers can start sending out specs again to agents. On the mind of many is getting the new TV season underway. They also go on to mention that this weekend's box office was one of the lowest of all time for 2023 at $49 million, and the problem has been that the actors aren't able to promote their projects. They also mentioned that economists have estimated that due to these strikes, it has already cost the state of California somewhere in the realm of $5 billion. You can imagine a lot of that loss being shouldered by these companies, which is why they are still at the table. Now, as we said in our video yesterday, there's still a full quarter of the year left, a full Q4. And from a lot of people's standpoints, there's a lot of work that can still get done this year to help the studios ease their transition of stuff that got delayed from earlier in the year. Obviously, for Marvel Studios, a project like Daredevil is way behind on filming, and even Deadpool as well. They're not going to make their release dates. But for other projects they were looking to expedite and move forward on, they may still be able to get underway and then get all their ducks in the row for production in early 2025. Now, ultimately what this means is once the writer strike is done, and this is great news, it's only the actors that are left. And if they were able to get this much done in such a short amount of time with the writers, meaning they had the right attitude and the right things to negotiate over, hopefully this is a sign of what they can do with the actors. If they were able to get this strike resolved in such a short amount of time when they finally decided they wanted to, I hope this is a sign of things to come when the SAG-AFTRA negotiations get underway, which I would assume will be the main center stage talking point next week, and wondering when they'll actually come back to the table. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Hats off to the writers. Can't wait to hear the deal that they worked out and again for the next 3 years, and hopefully the actors deal will be right behind them. Quick reminder, guys, we cover daily Marvel content, or in some cases industry news like we've covered today. We're also doing giveaways for PlayStation 5s here at the channel. We've got 3 more, 1 a month, and throughout the rest of the year. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. More videos you comment on, better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name Allfires, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, again, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires, hence the AKA at the beginning of the video. Thanks so much for checking the channel out, guys. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.